So we are here with Flynn today. Ben just changed his bridle because the throat lash on the bridle he put on was a little bit tight. So here we are. We are going to do a little bit of flat work with Flynn. Ben might show you some of his jumping. He's only just commenced jumping, but he's doing a good job. He's still a bit looky at times. He's not the bravest horse, but he does seem really careful. I think he could be quite a good eventer one day, or a good eventing prospect. What else about him? This has been, Flynn has been more in Ben's training than mine, so is there anything you want to tell about him while you're walking around for a second? Just be really loud because it's a bit windy.
Yeah, still a little bit looky, but I think he'll be quite careful.
Mostly looky with the jumping, or can be a bit looky at general stuff?
It's more the jumping.
More jumping, so just clarifying if you guys didn't hear Ben there, he was just saying that Flynn can be a bit looky with the jumps, which I'd already said. He's not really very spooky just at general stuff, like in his surroundings.
He needs a bit more inside bend. You guys will see if he's working on his
Both ways, or?
I think it's both ways,
Yeah, so Ben's just saying, I'm just repeating because I feel like they're not going to be able to hear you. So Ben's just saying that he could use a little bit more bend both ways. You know, sometimes he still falls out a little. He's still green, you know, he's really sweet. He has good movement. He's an Anglo Arab actually. And in our experience, they are quite athletic and they have a lot to offer, and usually quite good movers too. So, and Flynn's no exception to that. So, yeah, he's probably more on the lazier side.
Yeah,
But he's not too bad.
Can be one that wants to get a little bit too sort of round and kind of lean on you if you let him. So a lot of half-offs and riding along with.
So I think Ben just said there that he tends to get a little too round. I feel like when I've ridden him, he feels like he gets a bit more low, because he does have quite a nice long neck. So it's more like he gets open in the gullet and reaches, you know, and sometimes can become a touch low and heavy. Okay, so we're just getting going here. You guys can see, and I think this is quite typical of the Anglo Arab, this movement. So he has quite a nice active hind leg and then quite a soft, elegant sort of movement in the front, which gives him a kind of, and for where he's at, he has quite a nice sort of swing, I think, anyway. And I do like the shape of his neck. I think it's quite a nice front there. Good. There's a little bit of a challenge for Flynn. We've got one of the breakers in the yards. That's good. You can sort of see how he's a bit spooky there to that pole, but he's sort of learning now that, you know, even if he's worried, he still has to go. He'll just have to jump a little bigger. Yeah, anyway, we put one of the breakers in the yards and he's being a bit silly and fresh in there and calling out. And we're testing Flynn's concentration a little bit here. So I think suitability-wise, I think Flynn is best suited to, you know, be an eventing prospect. Obviously it's early days, so it'll be interesting to see how he continues to progress, but he's definitely an elegant type. And as I said before, even though he's spooky with the jumping still a little bit, he's only just started, and he does show talent. He's quite careful over the fence once you get him confident, so I think that just needs a bit more time and practice. Like, he's probably only jumped, you know, 5 or 6 times ever. So yeah, and as far as, you know, the dressage goes, for where he's at, he's really sweet. You can just see there Ben's testing out some transitions, and you saw when he came from trot to walk that he didn't keep that nice consistent forward flow. So yeah, now Ben will come back almost to walk and kind of correct that there. So, you know, in these little videos we like to show you just some of the exercises. I think it gives you a good indication of where the horse is at. It's always nice. I think as well Ben could soften the reins and test his rhythm a little bit and see if he speeds up. Perfect. So that's what we're looking for there, guys, and if you watch our videos regularly, we always do that. That's really important, that we can soften the reins and the horse doesn't speed up on their own. You know, that they've started to establish the concept of maintaining an independent rhythm, I think is always a good, one of the early things we love to tick off as soon as possible, because that really helps with everything from then on. Good. So we might there, Ben, that looks really good. We might speed up and slow down the trot a little bit. Is that wing being down annoying you? Do you want me to fix that? Good, and I don't mind him being a little low like that in the front at all. I think it's just where he's at. Good. And you can see, like, while he's reaching there, you know, he starts to cover the ground a little bit more. Yeah, super. He's really nice and regular there. Good, and we'll start to slow it down a little bit, almost to walk, taking the time. Yeah, and you can still see it's a little bit jolty. Good, and then speeding it up again. Super, and then let's change rein through the center here. So then we'll just be establishing that more forward rhythm. Now he's got him a bit straighter. You can see this ground cover starting to come out. Yeah, he's going to be a flashy horse, that's for sure. Really hoping to see him in a home where he can, reach his potential, hopefully. Good, and then we're going to slow that trot down a little bit. Not too much, just let's go, really gradually. I think maybe last time Ben asked for probably a little bit too much for where he's at, and that's probably a more realistic. Yeah, well done. A little bit back to big trot, then we might have a canter. Yeah, nice. Just going to watch the straightness as we go to canter. You just see every now and then on this right side, he tends to fall out a little bit through the left shoulder. Just something to be aware of. You know, most horses actually do that because most horses have been ridden by right-dominant, right-handed people, which can tend to turn the wrong way. That was a lovely transition for the first one of the day. Gosh, could show the schoolmasters a thing or two there, Flynn. He actually has a really good canter, so we're super comfortable there. And he's quite balanced. You know, Ben's really working a little bit on that straightness there, not letting him fall out through the shoulder, and just maintaining, and he keeps putting his body together. Good. Popping some poles randomly. It's all good stuff for him. Do one more lap, then we'll canter the other way. See if we can just open up that canter a touch. There we go. I actually liked him being in that more balanced canter, but I did feel like we were at risk of it becoming a little bit crooked. Good. And you know what we did have with those two distances to the poles? You can come to trot, Ben, when you're ready. Last time he had a bit more of an open spot and he had to reach, and that time he was quite deep, which is hard when they're still a bit weak in the canter. And both times he just figured it out, which is all really good indication for an event horse that he's going to have good range, and be able to sit up and go deep or reach when needed, which is really important when you're out in cross country, that's for sure. That sort of excellent. I really like there. He's starting to open and reach outwards more than down, which is really nice to see. It's consistent in the rhythm. A little bit of a wobble there through the outside rein. So yeah, it's not necessarily, Ben starts to get a little bit more inside bend and then you lose a little bit outside shoulder. It's all just young horse stuff, really. It's kind of a juggling a little bit between, having enough bend and having enough straightness. Nice. One more lap. Good ground cover. Good, excellent. Alrighty, when you're ready, let's come forward to trot. Good, and then we're just going to come forward to walk and put him on a long rein and just show you guys how he comes back down from the canter. Alrighty, forward to walk. And relax. Yeah, more lazy than anything. Good, okay. You can just see they've been trying to keep that rhythm up in the walk. Okay, so Ben's just going to pop a couple of cross trails here for you. and show you how he's coming along with the jumping here. Do a funny turn onto that. You can see, yeah, he's got a really good back end, and he's quite sharp in the front. So I think once he's confident, I think this is a really nice horse. I think he should not be overlooked just because he's all brown, you know. Sometimes those ones get missed a little bit, but it's a quality horse. Good man. Oops. And you know, he still makes green mistakes like that, but it's not a big deal. It was a nice transition just onto the wrong lead. Super. All right, do you want to do anything else? All right, I'm going to make that a vertical, guys. All right, guys, so we're just going to pop over the same blue fence that we were just doing, but we've popped it up to a vertical now. It's going to be just a matter of keeping the canter at the right sort of level. And I mean that, ooh, he does turn out, you know, I was saying before about the pole, how he was quite willing from a deep or a long spot. Good. Sorry guys, I was a bit zoomed in on that one. Good. And that's a really good exercise for him to jump out of trot. One more time, because you can see there that he starts to get a little deeper to the base of the fence and make a better shape. Whereas in the canter seat, because the canter's still quite long, beautiful. All right, I think that'll do him. I'm super happy. There's a lot going on here. Some of the babies are all neighing to each other and calling out and being silly. And Flynn's really kept focus there, which is great. Great sign. Good boy, Flynn.